Well, here we are. So I've decided to kind of do something a little different than, I don't know, everybody else. I don't give a shit about fancy backgrounds or cars or, everything that people want everyone to believe that they have. I have a home, I have a car, bills get paid. Okay. I'm still fat. I'm still broken. I still struggle. And I think part of coming back to doing social media is really to go after all the real people, right? Because I continue to see these people that post shit, and that's not who they are. I know some of them. That's not who they are. Some of them are broke. Some of them have borrowed somebody's car. Somebody has to put their car in other people's name because they don't have a fucking credit score to buy that car. They hope, right? They hope that they can keep making that payment, right? Because it's in somebody else's name. This shit's out of hand. And what's also out of hand is the fitness industry, right? So I made that video before about accountability. And, I'm going to touch base on what the whole accountability video really is about. And it's where I said I'm going to start from A and go to Z. Accountability is just within yourself. No trainer is good without good clients. That's it. There's no magic fucking trainer. There's no trainer that can make somebody do something. You either want to do it for yourself, which then transcends into doing things that a trainer or a coach or a guru or whatever the fuck it is, right? That you do. That's it. So a trainer is only successful as their client, period, hands down, okay? Also, there are a lot of trainers, and I know several of them, but I won't call them out. They only post the good ones. Nobody wants to post the bad ones. Nobody wants to post the clients that didn't lose weight or didn't grow more muscle than what they thought they were going to, because they didn't want to post the client quitting. But that's all part of it. See, part of all of this is failure. And when you're big, you fail. That's all there is to it. Most of us have lived pretty much a whole failed life to the point that you decide I want to lose weight or I want to do something better. And I know where I was wrong. I wanted to pack on muscle and do things. And I did. I mean, I put on 45 pounds of muscle, which was great, but I didn't utilize it the right way. And here we are talking about how, we lose weight and we're fixed. We're not fixed. We're not healed. We're still fucking broken. Hell, you're still broken from what your mommy and your daddy did to you when you were a baby, and now you're 40, 50, or 60 and you still blame them. So how the fuck are you fixed? This weight loss thing drives me absolutely bananas because we're not fixed. We're not, okay? I've put on 28 pounds since before COVID, right? Just a few months before COVID, it was the holidays, and then March rolled around and bam, okay? That's for 2 years. Over 2 years, I've been carrying 25, 28 pounds. And honestly, I don't give a shit. I really don't. It doesn't define me, okay? It does not define me. I'm not trying to take my shirt off. What defines me is what am I doing with my life for myself and the people that are in my circle? Because I don't give a fuck about anybody outside the circle, right? And that's part of what people, they sell this dream, right? That you're a part of it. No, here's the deal. You pay people, okay? You're paying someone to give you advice, and most of the time you waste your fucking money. And the funny thing is that it all kind of goes hand in hand, because how many of us have bought every beach body and this body and that body off infomercial and this, that, and then what do we say? Well, it didn't fucking work. We don't want to do it. No, you failed. You're fat and you failed. That's the truth. That's it. I have had this conversation with myself for 45 fucking years, right? And I never followed the norm. I never stuck with what everybody else was doing, right? Somebody said do carnivore. I didn't want to just eat meat. Someone said be a vegan. I couldn't fucking just be a vegan. Someone says, well, do vegetarian. There's always something, right? And I've said this now for however many long years I've been on Instagram, social media, I don't know what, 7 years or whatever. Someone says don't eat fruit. Well, I lost 225 pounds eating fruit. It's the fact that you pour caramel sauce or chocolate sauce over your strawberries, or you put powdered sugar. That's the issue. But I have yet I haven't found them yet. I'm still waiting, right? So I've had Harvard grads and I've had Yale grads and I've had all of these masters and PhDs. I've had people comment like, well, you know, fruit really isn't that good for you. Motherfucker, I have said this and I still challenge anybody. You find me a fat person. Hey, Johnny, you're 400 pounds. How'd you get that way? Well, I binged eat too much chicken and strawberries. I haven't found them yet. So you can take that shit somewhere else. Now, as of today, what is today? I'm making this video today. It's March 8th. And I'm now on a 2-day of a 5-day fast, and I might go longer. Now, I've talked about fasting before, and I love fasting for a few reasons, but really, I did it wrong before, right? The first time I did it was I wanted to see how much weight I could lose, and it wasn't really the weight. I wanted to see if I could get into a pair of pants that I couldn't get into for a while. Okay, I did it, and it worked. It was great. But then as soon as you eat something, well, guess what? It's right back, because then you get really hungry, and then your brain says you're fat and you're never going to eat again, so you better eat more. And that's what we do. Every day, every day, every day, times weeks, times months, times years, times 45 years old, however fucking old you are. We have never taken the time to figure out what it is. We've never taken the time to do the research for our head. I have talked about the mental side of losing weight forever. And let me tell you something. If you think getting up, putting some shoes on, walking around the block is the hardest thing, no. I did that many times. If you think having to go and work out is the hardest thing, wrongo. Try not eating. Try being fat, okay? Try being the only thing in our lives that doesn't call us a loser, doesn't say that we're ugly, doesn't hurt our feelings, doesn't say thank you when we do something, doesn't anything, okay? Food is just there. Food is just there. So what do? We eat it, and we enjoy it, and we run to it, and we love it, and we cherish it, and we watch a clock. So many of us watch our watch or look at a clock just to see what time it is so we can go to the next meal. You see, this is what's important. Nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants to actually, you have all these skinny motherfuckers that never was fat and still gives you advice. That's okay. I appreciate that. You can give me all the scientific advice why I only should eat meat or why I should only eat fucking kale. But the funny part is nobody wants to look at the fact that we're fat, we're lazy, we do not have a lot of determination, we do not have a lot of motivation, we definitely have zero self-control. So what is eating meat gonna do? What is kale gonna do? Someone's gonna say, well, here's the deal, Biggie. If you were to focus on just eating meat, that will help you. Okay, well, what about everything else about life? What about getting up? What about getting up at the right time? What about making my bed? All of those things. It's all here. Fuck the food, fuck the exercise, and fuck social media that says you have to eat a certain way. So I have a challenge, and I go back to my challenge, and I'm gonna stick to this challenge. I challenge anybody that's more than 200 pounds, or hell, you could be 100 pounds and still have a problem. But I'm gonna challenge you to do something. Try not eating for 3 or 5 days. Nothing. Drink fucking water. And people are gonna say, well, I'm tired or I cramped up. You put a pinch of salt in some water and you down that bitch. That's what you do, okay? You don't eat any time. You eat nothing, okay? What's crazy is fasting's been around from the dawn of time. Fasting's been around a lot longer than your fucking intermittent fasting, which I still laugh about because really you're just skipping breakfast. But let's give it a fancy name. Let's market it. Let's advertise it. And let's fucking sell it, okay? There's nothing to it. There's all these guides on how to intermittent fast. Don't stick anything in your fucking mouth until 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock. That's it, right? Oh, 16-8, I'm a 20-24 guy. You're a fucking person that didn't eat anything. That's all you are. Just gave it a fancy name like everything else, right? So I told you I'm coming back, but I'm gonna come back with a way different kind of motivation and vengeance. And I've told you guys, motivation fades. Okay, you can be trying to lose weight for the boyfriend or the girlfriend that dumped you or the guy that's not looking at you. So you want to lose weight. So you want to walk past them and say, oh, look at me. You're still fucking empty. Okay, you're still the same goddamn person. That's the truth. So I don't give a fuck what your motivation is. Okay, my motivation was when I first started this entire thing years ago, my buddy had a brain aneurysm, right? And I didn't want to be that fucking fat. Well, then I wasn't that fat. Where's my motivation? Well, I wanted to be a trainer. Okay, I helped a lot of people. I've helped thousands of people, which was great. But the funny part is until they wanted to help themselves, I was nothing, period. To this day, I make these videos now, I should say today, I make these videos again, is who can I help along the way understand what I'm going through, right? When we're in our car and we're uncomfortable, or we tint our windows really dark because we don't like people to look at us, or we hide, or we don't like to park in front of buildings with windows because we know that people are gonna look at us. These are the things that go through our mind. Now, skinny fuckers might also go through their mind, but I don't give a shit about that, okay? I care about my biggies. But people don't want to talk about the real part. There's no real podcast about how you feel, or when you walk into a restaurant, the anxiety you get, because if you're with a party and usually you have skinny fucking friends, it just works out that way, right? You don't want to get stuck in a booth, or you don't want to get stuck on a flimsy wooden chair. These are the things that people are not talking about. We can talk about your protein bars, and we can talk about, all this other shit. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing until the actual human being that you are decides, I want to make a better choice for myself so I don't have to keep feeling this way. And 9 times out of 10, with obesity, we have other mental disorders, okay? And people don't like the word mental disorders. That's what the fuck it is, okay? We all have problems, okay? Some of us didn't have parents growing up. Some of us had one parent. Some of us had 2 fucked up parents. Some of us had no parents. Some of us had a grandmother, okay? Some of us had a mom that worked 3 jobs, okay? Some of us had a mom that worked 3 jobs and was still a prostitute on drugs. We all had something, okay? But the problem is now is we still have all those issues that we didn't resolve, that we've never talked to. And I've been a huge advocate of somebody seeing the therapist to talk about these things. But now you've ate yourself. You've ate yourself so much, and you hate yourself so much that really it all comes down to one thing. Every day we wake up and go, why? Why even start? I'm so far gone. How is this ever going to do anything for me? And that's our mentality. The mentality of is why? Everybody wants to talk about, Biggie, motivation and, what keeps you going? You know what keeps me going every day, or why I even got back to this? Why? That's it. Why was I a fat kid? My grandmother, I grew up in an Italian family. My grandmother used to feed me Carnation instant breakfast in the morning. She used to give me snowballs in my lunch, those little fucking coconut chocolate goodness. I had Reese's Pieces candy. And when my grandfather was an asshole to me, what did she do? She'd take me to Burger King, right? 2 chicken sandwiches, mayonnaise only, right? That's what happened. Chicken nuggets. That's where it started. And then I lived in an area that wasn't a good area. So I was told, you got to stay indoors. It wasn't until I started to go outdoors and learn how to start fighting that I get to play outside. But I was a fat kid, and then it just transcends into your adulthood. And then you get to a point where you're so big, where I was 8 years ago. Oh God, I'm old now. So 9 years ago, I was done. I didn't want to be 485 pounds, but it wasn't because somebody helped me. And trust me, social media wasn't here 9 years ago like it is today. I had some YouTube videos. I've talked about this 1,000 times. I started making egg sandwiches, so I thought eggs were healthy. Okay, I was putting butter on bread and eating eggs. I was eating 3 fucking sandwiches, not healthy. Okay, just because you had some eggs, and that's a fat person's mentality is, well, I had eggs today. Well, but what did you have on the eggs? See, this is where it goes wrong. This is where trainers fuck everything up. This is where coaches and gurus and whatever you want to name yourself, or I love the fucking name of a, what's that word? A social influencer. You ain't influencing shit, okay? Don't talk about health. Don't talk about fat. Don't talk about losing 5 pounds, because motherfucker, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to be 100, 200, 300 or 400 pounds. You don't know what it's like, okay? And maybe you do, but you haven't expressed it. So maybe you should try the truth. Maybe a lot of people don't know what it's like to wake up each day wishing you didn't. And now that since you fucking woke up, because you're not dead yet, you got to figure out how to get out of bed. Then you got to figure out how you want to get in the shower. Then you have to figure out how you want to even get dressed, knowing that whatever you put on, you look like shit. See, this is the realness, okay? I'm not going to put the fancy things. I'm in my fucking garage right now with the workout machine behind me. This is what I do. This is it. I started coming out to the garage. I started working out. I don't want to go to a gym, okay? I don't want to see people. I don't want to be bothered by people. I don't want people to come up to me and go, oh, I haven't seen you for a while. I don't want any of that shit. So I have people that say, well, you can't get big if you don't have a gym. Let me tell you what, I have friends that have been in or out of prison. Those motherfuckers didn't have anything except water and a plastic bag and a pillow sheet, okay? They had push-ups. They had burpees. But everybody's worried about their, oh, what's your PR? What do you squat, bro? Motherfucker, you can't even do one pull-up. If I push you, I used to tell my clients this all the time, and I tell everybody this, if I push you off the edge of a cliff and you're hanging there, you're gonna live or you're gonna die. Most likely, this is the sad part, 95% of you, we're all dead, because we can't even do a pull-up to pull ourselves off the fucking cliff. Think about that. But you're worried about how your ass looks on a squat, yet you got them stuffed in a bunch of fucking leggings. There's not an ass under there. There's fat that's compressed with your fucking leggings. That's the truth, okay? This is what it's all about. You think about, people want to talk about, oh, what do you bench, bro? You can't even do 25 push-ups from your fucking toes, okay? That's what's crazy about this. I don't need a gym. I don't need to spend money on something that I'm not going to go to, okay? I have a kettlebell, I got a barbell, I got this cable machine behind me. And you know the best thing is I have a free gym. It's called fucking outside, okay? I have a bicycle. I have feet that I can walk. That's it. But we're so worried about having to do the right thing. So many fat people, one of the biggest reasons that a big person will tell you this is, well, I don't know how to start. I don't know what exercise is. Motherfucker, go walk. Get on a bicycle. If you're too big for a bicycle, you can walk. Well, my knees hurt, my back hurts. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, right? So if you can't walk to the corner, can you walk halfway to the corner? Can you actually breathe? Can you actually take a breath trying to put your shoes on? I couldn't. I wanted to call 911 trying to go fucking stairs when I was 485 pounds. This is the problem. This is why I finally just got so fed up with seeing all this shit, and I've unfollowed so many people because it's the same bullshit every day, right? It's the same people going out on the weekends, drinking, eating like shit, posting party pictures. Oh, I'm having so much fun. And then Monday, oh, I'm fat. Oh, the scale lies. No, you are living a bullshit life. That's it. Right? You can go buy $300 Jordans, but you can't go buy a kettlebell and a jump rope. This is the problem. This is what's wrong. So this is why trainers, and I come after everybody, you're not good. You're not a great trainer. You are only good as your clients, okay? I'm not one to really, ever prop people or give them shout outs or whatever, but I actually called somebody. Okay, Wes. I actually called Wes and I said, Wes, I need to talk to you. I got some things that I want to do. And Wes is, again, he lived a life. And that boy came out of the pen. He was yoked going in. He was yoked coming out. He didn't have a gym. Okay, this is what I'm trying to tell you. You do a penitentiary workout. You do burpees and you do pull-ups and you do thousands of push-ups. And you cut a t-shirt up and you get a plastic bag and you pour water in. That's your weight. That's how you curl. That's how you do triceps. Think about that. What's their excuse? They only got time. That's it. They got a lot of time against them, right? Because they all did something. They had time. They figured it out. They're not eating fucking carnivore in prison, right? They're not eating kale in prison. This is what's mind-boggling. So how are these dudes yoked? How are these people? I've seen women come out just fucking jacked. They get cans of tuna. They get bologna. They can get their commissary stuff, right? But they don't get the freedom that we get. They're not getting fucking McDonald's, right? We're running to McDonald's. So what this all comes down to is you're fucking lazy and you don't want to do anything. You would rather bitch. It's easier to blame, right? It's easier to blame the government. It's easier to blame this, blame that. It's mind-boggling how we have now become the world of excuses. So with all that being said, I'm on a 5-day fast. You want to take the most important thing away from someone. You want to know what you're made of, how you're built. You want to know if you've got any fucking balls, male or female balls. I don't care which gender you are. I don't care if you want to be the other gender. None of that shit matters. If you got the guts, okay? Tell a fat person they can't eat for a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, okay? Everything on social media I scroll, food. Every corner I drive by, food. I walk by my refrigerator, food. I walk by my pantry, food. I gotta feed my damn dogs and I'm thinking, these little bastards get to eat and I don't. This is a choice. But you wanna know what you're made of? Get an idea. Here's an idea. Here's a challenge, I should say. Take your food away. Don't eat. Just drink water for 24 hours, 48, 72, 96 hours, whatever it is. But stop acting like you're big and tough. I have all these dudes and nothing bugs me and I'm a big belly badass. No, you're not. You're fat. You're fat and you look intimidating. That's why most people, if you ask a lot of fat guys, they were probably bullied when they were kids. But as you got older, a lot of fat guys have never been in a fight. You know why? Because they've always had the look of, I'm a badass. But you're fucking soft. You're a little pussy is what you really are. And 9 times out of 10, we all hate ourselves. That's the truth. But you see, who's talking about that? Where's the podcast? Where's anyone saying, what are you really made of? Who the fuck are you? That's really what it comes down to. Why? Who? Why am I doing this? Why am I the way I am? Why can I not get out of this funk? Who the fuck are you? Who am I today? Am I just gonna be another fat fucking statistic that everybody says you're disgusting, right? And you go, yeah, okay, and then you believe it. And then you get mad because someone says, well, you're fat. So then we go, oh, you're fat shaming. Okay, there we go again. It's always an excuse, and then you gotta panel, you gotta pamper someone, right? And you gotta say, it's okay, you'll be okay tomorrow. Or I know the best one is, this is what I love the most, I love them however they are. That's a problem. That's a problem, okay? Because you should love somebody no matter what, but you should also love them enough that you try to help them. And then you're gonna come back and say, Biggie, I've tried to help my son, my daughter, my husband, my wife, my mommy, my daddy, whoever the fuck else is out there, okay? Unless that person, okay, is ready to do it, you'll never be able to help them. But you can definitely stop supporting their terrible habits. When they call you and say, hey, I wanna eat this weekend, say no. Do something. But you know what? It all goes back to this. Nobody can stand up for themselves. No one can say, I love you enough. I love you so much, I'm not gonna do this for you. That's it. So, long video, okay, going on YouTube, but here's the deal. This is going to be something that I do now often. I have that burning desire to just attack the social media world and the bullshit that's out there. And I want to be real. And that's it.